Hi everyone, my name is Aprilina Nakaltida. Today we will tackle about art, elements, and the principle of design. But before anything else, I would like to share the daily life of the ordinary man. A life crowded with diverse interests and increasingly complex demands. Some few moments of a busy week or month or year are accorded to interest in art. Whatever may be in his vacation, the man feels instinctively that in his total stream of life books, pictures, music have somewhere a place. In his own business or profession, he is an expert, a man of special training, and intelligently he does not aspire to a complete understanding of a subject which lies beyond his province. The same spirit in which he is a master of his own craft. He is content to leave expert knowledge to art, to the expert, to the artist, to the connoisseur. For his part as a layman, he remains frankly and happily on the outside, but he feels nothing less that art has interest and meaning even for him. Thought he does not practice any art himself, he knows that he enjoys fine things, a beautiful room, noble buildings, books, plays, statues, pictures, music, and he believes that in his own fashion he is able to appreciate art. Just a layman, appreciating art is an artist is important because art continues to be our part of our lives and our future. So our topic for today is all about the artist and the artisan. But before anything else, I would like to share some view of artists and artisans. Before the Industrial Revolution of virtual everything was made by artisan, from cement, we have goldsmith, blacksmith, locksmith, gunsmith, to weavers, dryers, carpenters, potters, and many more. In other places, this distinction is often very blurred since many farmers paint, many sculptures farm, or have other jobs. Most walls are curved, most houses have decorative motifs. Art is everywhere. To them, the act of creation is beautiful things is second nature. All the ladies of a village will make amazing decoration for temples on the elaborate offering, thinking nothing of spending 3 days making things which may be only used for a few hours, just like us. Filipino are so artistic. We like spending time to the thing which may be only used for a few hours. Just like my mother. My mother is very artistic mom because in my um elementary days she always make me a gown for me to wear it in special occasion. She is an example of an artisan who make things by hand.
So, good morning, ma'am. Before I start, let me introduce myself first. I'm Aneros Painte and I'm the one of the first reporter. So, today I will discuss to you my topic all about the artist and the artisan. In much of the world today, an artist is considered to be a person with a talent and the skills to conceptualize and make creative works. Their artworks can take many forms of fit into numerous categories, such as architecture, ceramics, digital arts, drawings, mixed media, paintings, photograph prints, sculptures, and textiles. An artisan or craft person can also be someone who creates his own designs but does not work in art forms or with materials traditionally associated with the so-called fine arts such as paintings and sculpture. When they have enough art, many of them call or email or post otherwise present it to art world professionals like dealers, gallery owners, curators, consultants, representatives, so-called agents, and others who sell art for a living. Some of these professionals like the arts so much they tell the artists they want to represent, show or sell it. The artists give them the art to sell and it sells. So when we say artists, sila yung mga taong may iba't ibang talento sa art. They can make any form of arts. And when we say artisan, they can also make their own design. But dili siya mo work sa art forms kung yung gamiton na materials is associated sa fine arts, such as paintings and sculptures. And if they have enough art, they present it to the art world professionals, like dealers, gallery owners, etc. Some of the professionals, if they want the art, they tell the artist and they want to represent the art and seal, and it sells. So that's all. Thank you.
A pleasant morning to everyone. I am the reporter of Group 1 and my topic is all about medium and technique of an artist. An artist select a medium to express their feelings and thoughts based on their plan and desired qualities. They must love, respect, and understand their medium to expand their knowledge and improve their skills. Arts can be classified into visual arts and auditory arts, with visual arts occupying space and auditory arts occupying time. So every artist, ginaselekto nila ang medium nga pwede maka-show or maka-express sa ilahang feelings and thoughts based sa naka-base sa ilahang plans and qualities desired. Desired qualities, I mean. They must love, respect, and understand their medium para ma-expand ang ilahang knowledge and ma-improve ang ilahang skills. Ma-improve pa ang ilahang skills. The dimensional arts or two-dimensional arts, which include painting, drawing, printmaking, and photography. The three-dimensional arts, which include sculpture, architecture, landscape, industrial designs, and craft-like furniture. So, ang two-dimensional arts, ang sunod niya is ang painting, drawing, printmaking, and photography. Then, ang three-dimensional arts, ang sulod sad niya is sculpture, architecture, landscape, industrial designs, and craft-like furniture. So, dili sila parihag kuan. Silbi lahi nga group ang naa sa two-dimensional, lahi sa nga group ang naa sa three-dimensional. Both visual and auditory are those whose medium can be both seen and heard, in which exist in both space and time. So, ang visual o auditory arts kuno is pwede siya makita og madungog nga mo-exist silang duha sa space ug sa time. Thank you.
I am Christian Zambo. My topic is technique related to paintings. Number 1 is encaustic. The medium for the powdered color is hot wax, which is painted into the wood surface with a brush. It is smoothened with a metal instrument resembling a spoon, and then blended a set over a flame to soften and set the colors into the wood. So, encaustic daw is a wax-based painting medium that originated with the ancient Greek over 3,000 years ago. The primary ingredients of encaustic are beeswax and trigam colt, damaricin, and the combination of the beeswax and damar is referred to as encaustic medium, and it forms the base of encaustic paint. Materials used in encaustic painting is refined as beeswax and tree resin tapped from the damar tree, which is native to Asia. And then that mixture is melted together and mixed with a natural pigments for color before being used as paint. Number two is fresco seco. In the dry plaster or fresco seco techniques, pigments are usually mixed with water, although other substances might also be used. This paint is applied to a dry plaster wall which has been wetted down the water. Fresco seco is a wall painting technique where pigments mixed with an organic binder or lime are applied into dry plaster. As the plaster dries, a chemical processes bonds the pigments and plaster together. Because humid weather is ideal for fresco painting, work on the ceiling and pillars. And also, dried plaster into fresco seco is a wall painting done or dried plastered with tempera or pigments ground and lime water. Number 3, fresco. This is also known as buon fresco or true fresco, which entails painting on freshly spread moist plaster. First layer of plaster are applied to the surface, while the final layer is still wet. The artist applies the colors, which are earth pigments mixed with water. These colors penetrate the wet plaster and combine chemically with it, producing a painted surface which does not peel when exposed to moisture. We have two types of fresco paintings. The one is buon fresco and fresco a seco. For both methods, layers or fine plaster are spread over the wall surface. A fresco is a type of wall painting. It seems the number two, the fresco seco, but kanilang siya is fresco lang. In terms comes from the Italian word for fresh because plaster is applied to the walls while still wet. Fresco painting is ideal for making murals because it lends itself to a monumental style. It's durable and has a matte surface. Buon or true fresco is the most durable technique and consists of the process. Number 4. Egg tempera. In this method, the pigments is mixed with egg yolk or both the yolk and white of an egg. It is thinned with water and applied to a gesso ground plaster mixed with a binding and a panel. It was also used on parchment or paper to illustrate or embellish books in the era before the 15th century development of printing press. Tempera is also known as egg tempera, created by mixing egg yolk with powdered pigments and little water. Traditionally, tempera was applied to a wooden panels, such as poplar, are coated with a special primer called as gesso. And then temper paint is used for craft projects, painting windows, school classroom projects, posters, and etc. A tempera is the most durable part and form of the medium, being generally unaffected by humidity and temperature. Number 5 is mosaic. The design is created by small pieces of colored glass, stone, or ceramic called as tesserae, embedded in white mortar which has been spread over the surface to be decorated. Mosaic, familiar naman mo sa mosaic, di ba, right? Kuan siya ka ng mga small pieces of paper. For example, mag-form kag kuan ka ng apple. Mag-cut lang kag kuan ka ng papers or books baka nga any kind of colors. Mag-create kag mosaic, like the way nga mag-create kag mosaic is katong mga small pieces of paper mo ito mong gamiton to form an apple to make an mosaic, like for example kaning nga picture.
Hi everyone, my name is Kristen May Flores, the next reporter. This is just a continuation of Mr. Zambo's report. We will proceed to number 6, oil paint. Oil paint is a form of slow-drying paint that consists of particles of pigment suspended in a drying oil that forms a tough, colored film on exposure to air. Oil paint were initially used for utilitarian purpose before the 15th century. In the 15th century, turpentine was discovered as an effective thinning agent, leading to the Van Eyck brothers perfecting the oil painting technique. The process involves mixing powdered colors with the oil and a solvent, allowing for a thick or transparent application. The earliest artists like Jan van Eyck, Hans Holbein, Bouguereau, and Salvador Dali used the technique. Other artists discovered that oil paints could be reworked to blend colors and add texture to an image. So, this is turpentine. Turpentine is a fluid obtained by the distillation of resin harvested from living trees, mainly pines. Turpentine is also used to clean brushes, rulers, and spray equipment, oil-based paint, varnish, or polyurethane application tools. So, ang oil paint kay makita ra gyapon na ginagamit na siya sa varnish. So, next. So, this is the example of oil painting by Fernando Amorsolo. So, this is the portrait of a lady. Next is watercolor. Watercolor, a paint that is mixed with water and used to create pictures. So watercolor painting involves mixing pigments with gum arabic to paper with a soft brush. This method was crucial in China and Japan, but gained popularity after the 16th century, influenced by artists like Albrecht Dürer and Jean Martin. Watercolor painting continues to be a popular technique today. So this is the gum arabic. It's a natural gum originally consisting of the hardened sap of two species of the acacia tree, Senegalia senegal and Vachelia sial. It is an important ingredient in chocolates and hard gummy candies such as gumdrops and marshmallows. So, kaning gum arabic, nani siya sa mga chocolates like M&M and marshmallows. So, this is an example of watercolor painting by David Cox. This is the landscape of gypsies and wagon. So, number 8 is acrylic. Acrylic is a kind of plastic fabric fiber or paint that's made from acrylic acid. So, acrylic are water-based artificial compounds developed in the 20th century, offering a glossy, permanent surface resembling oil. They can create most effects without toxic turpentine. However, they dry quickly without retarding agents. Many artists prefer oils for color workability. So this is the acrylic. So acrylic is a transparent plastic material with outstanding strength, stiffness, and optical clarity. Acrylic sheet is easy to fabricate, bonds well with adhesive and solvents, and is easy to thermoform. It is has sup- it has superior weathering properties compared to many other transparent plastics. So mo ni siya ang acrylic. So this is an example of acrylic painting by Anna Baker. So this is Bahay Kubo. So number 9, collage. Collage is a technique where photographs, news clippings, or objects are pasted on a painting surface, combining with painted areas. It was first used by Pablo Picasso and has been adapted by artists like Braque, Max Ernst, and Kurt Schweitzer. This is the Picasso still life with chair caning. Created in 1912, is considered to be modern art's first collage. The work depicts a coffee scene. Number 10, drawing. Drawing is a basic tool for artists and designers, allowing them to create work in various locations, when its immediacy and intimate quality make it an economical way to capture moments, actions, or moods. Drawings can also be used to develop ideas in other mediums, making them valuable tool for artists. So this is an example of drawing by Adona Carey. And that's all my report. Thank you.
Hello, I am Mark Lister Amakna. I am the reporter of Group 1. So my topic was all about printmaking. So what is printmaking? So printmaking is a print anything printed on a surface that is a direct result from the duplication process. Ordinarily, painting or graphic image is done in black in on white appears become the artist's plate. Advantage of printmaking is the process of making copies of the original drawing. So ang printmaking kay kanang bitaw sa kanang proseso sa pagbuhat og kopya sa original nga drawing kanang. So daghan-daghan siya klase kanang nasa 5 ka klase sa prints. So ang una kay ang relief print. So ang usab ni relief print are made by removing materials from the matrix. The surface the image has been carved, which is often wood, linoleum, or metal. The remaining surface is covered by ink or pigment, and then the paper is pressed into the surface, picking up the print or ink. So ang kuan daw ang relief printing daw himo pinagi sa pagkuha og materialis gikan sa matrix. Ang gibitbitan nga surface sa picture or image nga ginakuha kini kasagaran sa kahoy kanang linoleum ug metal. Ang gibarugang bahin sa surface gilubungan og tinta or pigment ug unya ang papel press nimo sa surface nga musulod sa tinta mao na ang kuan mo na relief printing. So next kay kuan ng intaglio print. Intaglio print they are made when a design is scratched into a matrix, usually a metal plate. Ink is wiped across the surface and collects in the scratches. Excess ink is wiped off and paper is pressed into the plate, picking up the from the scratches. Intaglio prints may also include texture kanang ang intaglio prints daw kay kanang kinig himo kung usa ka disenyo nga gikalot sa usa ka matrix kasagaran ng usa ka plato nga kuan ba usa ka plate bitaw nga metal tas ang tinta ginabutang sa ibabaw sa plate then ang ang tinta limpyuhan sa ibabaw ug ang mukolekta sa mga scratches ang sobra nga tinta or ink gilimpyuhan og og papel i-press gilimpyuhan tas ang papel i-press nimo siya sa plate dayon muna to mukuha tinta gikan sa mga scratches tas ang mga ang intaglio friends kay aduna sa pud siya kanang texture ba kanang mura pog mga nindot pud ba. So ang kanang sunod kay stencil print. So stencil print, they are made by passing inks through a porous fine mesh matrix ng sa naman ning kuan ng stencil prints kay murag nagkuan gyapon siya dagami siya pa naghimo ani karon nang murag ang maghimo hulmahan ba tas imong butnya nang kanang hulma ibutang nimo sa kanang imong hulmahan ibutang nimo sa babaw then isprayhan nimo tas ug unsa imong porma sa imong hulmahan mura pud to imong gawa sa porma ba mo imong gawa sa imong sa basta tas mura sa imong gawa sa imong kuan ba nang sa imong print. Next kay woodcut print. So unsa ning kuan woodcut print? Ang woodcut print kay this kind of techniques of printing designs from planks of wood encased parallel to vertical axis of the wood's grain. It is one one of the oldest methods of making prints from relief surface, having been used in China to decorate textiles since the 15th century. In Europe, painting from wood blocks on textile was known from the early 14th century, but it had little development until paper began to be manufactured in France and Germany at the end of 14th century. So ang woodcut print kay kanang daghan dagkitan gyapon na ni karon kanang parang nag-exist mo siya mo ni karon nang kini nga paagi sa pag-imprinta kay mga disenyo gikan sa mga bahin sa kahoy ba kanang yukit ba kanang kalot bitaw tas pinaagi sa parallel o vertical nga axis sa kahoy. Usa kini sa labi nga daghan nga mga pamaagi sa paghimo og mga impresyon gikan sa usa ka relief surface nang gigamit sa pagdekorator atong kan una sa China sigaran China gini sa nakuanan kay daghan yung mga kuan sa China nga nang daghan sila kanang woodcut ato kanang ilang kanang kalot-kaluton ba na tigib gamit. So next kay kanang engraving. So engraving, the design is cut into a metal with a grave or boring. The boring is a steel rod section and a slightly bent shaft or cutting accomplished by pushing the boring into the metal plate. The deeper it penetrates into the metal wiper and variation in depth create the swelling tapering character of the engraving fine kanang so ang engraving kay kanang nang mura na pa ni siya kanang woodcut ba kanang gi-okit ra bitaw kanang pero kan lahi ang gamit kanang sagaran kan kanang metal gamit gyud ang metal tas i-grave metal gamit ang grave o boring. Ang boring kay usa ka steel rod nga naay kwadrado nga kuan ba kanang kwadrado or diamond shape nga bahin sa ugamay nga sukdanan nga medyo pag-ukit ginabuhat pinagi sa pagduot sa boring nga.
So, hi everyone. Before I will start, I will first introduce myself. My name is Olivia M. Apat, and so now I will discuss to you about the Gawad sa Manilika ng Bayan Award. So, the Gawad sa Manilika ng Bayan Award is an award that acknowledges an indigenous artist who, despite the modern times, true tradition. It inspired ang dagawad sa American Bayan Award na the shy term. Short term is GAMABA, which is Gawad sa American Bayan Award. GAMABA began as a project of the Philippine Rotary Club Makati, Ayala. So dato nga sa Makati, Ayala, dito nagsugod og project ang Pilipinas para sa Rotary Club. In 1992, it was adopted by the government and institutionalized through Republic Act No. 7335. This awards aims to support and motivate these artists to preserve their artistic heritage for the present and future generation. These artists are also recognized as the country's national living treasures. So, dili lang ang uban makabuhat. Pwede pod kita. So, ang dagawad sa Amerikanang Bayan Award is the highest state honor given to a Filipino in recognition to their outstanding work as traditional folk artists. So, ang dagawad sa Amerikanang Bayan Award, mo din siya ang pinakahaya sa mga Filipino nga gipanghatag sa recognition sa outstanding silang gipang trabaho nga artist, like daghang mga pangbuhaton pa. So, now I will discuss to you and who under the 10th person the sum of. So, here are the under of the Sam Gamaba awardees and their work of art. So, there are 10 person. So, first, si Darhata Sawabi. Who is Darhata Sawabi? So, is ata usog weaver of peace shabit, the traditional of cloth tapestry worn as a head cover. So, siya ang nagtradisyon sa mga cloth, sa itong gipang suot, mo siya ang nakadawat. So, the second is si Eduardo Motok. Who is Eduardo? An artist from Apalit, Pampanga who has dedicated his life to creating religious and secular art and silver, bronze, and wood. So, siya ang nagpasmunong ani nga, create na lang, gi-dedicate niya ang iyang kinabuhi para sa pagkuhan sa mga silver, bronze, and wood. So, okay, so, number 3. Si Haja Amina Api. Who is Haja? It's recognized as master mat weaver among the Sama indigenous community for unique designs, straightness of hair. So, si Haja, grabe jud ka kuan, ka indigenous, kay designan ka ha, designer. Sa bisag unsa niyang mga design, like nakita tali nga nindot siyang mga design yung artist good, so nakadawat siyang award. So singday ka mo na mo yung mga designs. So it's number 4, si Alonzo Saclag. Who is Alonzo? Is a Kalinga master of dance and the performing arts. So mastered not only the Kalinga musical instruments but also her dance pattern and movements associated with her people's rituals. Grabe jud ka talented, no? Dancer pa, musical instruments, but naghimo pag mga instrumentals para sa musical, para sa mga tao sa nga nagiritualan, moto, grabe jud ka talented sila, no? So, it's number 5, si Fidelio Caballero. It's a sulod Bukidnon epic chanter from Kalinog, Iloilo, who ceaselessly works for documentation in the oral literature, particularly the epics of his people. So, grabe na po din sila, no? Na-over. Char. Then again, malabuan. Number 6 is Unwang Ahadas. Is a Yakan musician who is a master of the kwintangan, kayu, and tuntungan instruments. Grabe gid, no? Wag kita kasabot silang mga ipambuhat kay grabe jud ka laglom. Pero kita ra nato na is number 7 is Lang Dulay. Is a Tiboli traditional weaver of tinalak as Tiboli cloth made of colorful abaka fabrics. So, dili raman pud sila nay abaka, nagalipod sa amua diri sa palibot na may abaka. Pero grabe jud sila ay gihimo nilang fabrics na grabe biya na pagkakuan nila kanang like maniho. So, number 8 is si Salinta Monon. Tagbanwa, Bagubo traditional weaver of distinct, abak of master and ambahan poetry. Sorry. So that, si Salinta is a traditional fabrics pod iya ka. So, number 9, Ginaba Bilog is a Banono Mangyanpuel who is considered as a master of ambahan poetry. Hello, grabe ka-talented nila, no? Si Ginaba po, sa po siya ka mong himo ay poetry nga kuan mo nagtagaan siya award, yung grabe kanindot sa iyang gibuhat. Its last one is si Masino Intirer, a periodic and preeminent and epic chanter and storyteller recognized for his understanding, mastery of various traditional musical instruments of Palawan people such as Basal, Kolilal, and Bagil. So, grabe jud ka talented nila tanan, no? Nanagid nila tanan sa mga artist nga nagkuan si Masino sa mga traditional dito sa Palawan. Nga laglom gid kilang mga talented nila pero grabe jud. So, okay guys, I hope you understand my topic. That's all about the Gawad sa Milikan ng Bayan Award. Thank you.
I'm Ashley Macel Silboroy and this is Next Reporter. Number 6. Uwang Ahadas, a Yukan musician who is a master of the kwintangan, kayo, and tungtungan instruments. Kini siya si Uwang Ahadas guys. Katuni siyang atong unang panahon nga siya kinamayon mo kuha sa mga instrument din. Itong mangbuhate atong pangtugtog. Itong kanang ato ang kano katong ngay pa. Kawantay mo mga nakaroon nga katong mga badyaw din na sila yung mga gamit na to. Si ato una guys, siya magbuhat din ani guys. Siya pinaka-master ato una na magbuhat din ani o siya pinaka-master mong tugtog. Okay, and next, number 7, Lang Dulay, a Tibuli traditional weaver of tinalak or Tibuli cloth made of colorful abaka fabrics. Silang Dulay, siya po isapin na siya sa pinakamaayo ato una sa mga buhat sa mga sanina. Mutahi o kanang mga itong mga sinulog karon ato una kay nasa yung mga pinambuhat kanang mga banig, mga ato yung pambuhat kay katong mga abaka. Siya nagbuhat ato guys. O sa iyang panahon, murag siya may master anong buhat. So murag naapod siya kituluan na karon kay murag wala naman nata ni siya. Namatay ng uro siya, ata siya. So naay nakabalong aron niya. Pero karon ato aron kay automatic naman ang tay mga machine. Dili man prato una nga ikuan-kuan ra kay tahi-tahion karon na may mga machine ang mga tao ron. Pero natoy uban nga magbuhat ani. Okay, next, number 8, si Salentana Munon. Atagwan nga Bagubo traditional weaver of this thing abaka fabrics called inabal. Kabantay ba mo na ito na guys katong mga itong pabuhaton o mga PC katong mga abaka. So dari sa tuwag talagsa ay mga kitag abaka pero sa laing bansa ni daghan gyud kuan daghan og mga abaka di mao ni pambuhaton ng mga PC. Kabantay mo nang kuan sa barko kana di ba ang barko na may PC ang barko. So mao na dito nagikan kuan kanang mao nagikan sa gibuhat sa abaka. Salintana Munon was a Filipino textile weaver who was the one of the recipients of the National Living Treasures Award in 1998. Itagaan ko ni siya award sa atong unang panahon atong 1998 tungod sa iyang kamaayo mubuhat og mga anak atong mga clothes, mga pasanina o mga PC. Nani siya award nung unang panahon guys, tagaan siya. Pre anang ato agod karon sa tuwa karon. So kita ay tagaag sa eskwelahan, di ba? O natay maayong mabuhat na pareha na maayta mo sayaw, may mo kanta di. So di ba tagaan mo itag award. So pareha niya ito ng panahon. And next, number 9, Ginaw Bilog is a Hununong Mangyan poet who is considered as a master of ambahan poetry. So kani siya guys, si Ginaw Bilog, siya ay pinakamaayo mo buhat og poetry ato na. Bisan kita nakasuway matatanan mo buhat og poetry, di ba? Nakaagi mi tani kinahanglan tay English major, so di ba pabuhatan mi tag poetry, ang uban, di ba? Ang uban maglisod pa gani. Siya to na ay siya murag maayo na niya, murag ito niya og kuan kanang easy na kay niya mabuhaton niya. So sa ato na ay maglisod pa ta. Pero siya easy ra kay niya. Ginaw Bilog was a Filipino poet who was recognized as a national living treasure by the Philippine government, born on January 3, 1953. So dari na sa Pilipinas, siya ay pinakamaayong mabuhat. Bilog was a Hununong Mangyan who was a native of Mansalay, Oriental Mindoro. He was known for his effort in preserving the Mangyan poetry tradition of ambahan. Number 10, Masino Intaray, Afro-Lefek and preeminent epic chanter and storyteller recognized for his outstanding mastery of various traditional musical. Si Masino Intaray kay siya ay pinakakuan ato na guys, siya ay pinakamaayo pod mo kuan mga storytelling, may pareha bantay ba mga joke-joke karon kanang pareha ng ato stage kanang may kay mo istorya may nana kanang iyang binuhat-buhat nga istorya imbento niya kanang makatawa ta, di ba? Kabantay ba mga nagkaroon na sa YouTube kanang si mo to sa nga to basta may sila mo buhat og mga pakatawanan sila duwa mo na that is storytelling. Then dili po ni siya nga ingon maayra mo storytelling, isa po ni siya ka maayo nga musician. Kani siya guys kanang makabalo may sa lagin siya mo kanta, mag-artist na siya basta mga artist, isa siya sa pinakamaayo pod na may siya mo buhat og mga kanta o mga tugtog may nana. Masino Intaray was a Filipino poet, born artist and musician who is a Palawan native, known for his performance of the local traditions of Basal, Corilial, and Bagit. He is also a recipient of the Tinapa, Hoy Bayrich, the National Living Treasure recognition. So that's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Ayan Cristoria and this is my topic, and my topic is all about performance art. So performance art is an disciplinary art form that brings together elements of time, space, bodies, and audiences. The performance can be live or via media. The performance can be present or absent. It can be in a situation that involves 4 basic elements. So there are 4 basic elements. The 4 basic elements is the time, space, the performance body or presence in a medium, and a relationship between performer and audiences. Performance art can happen anywhere in any type of venue or setting and or any length of time. So what is the meaning of performance art? Artworks are created through action performed by the artist or other participants, which can be live or recorded, spontaneous or scripted. So artwork daw is na-create siya through actions, giperform sa artist or unsa ba na participants. So this performance consists of art form that refers to public performance event that occurs mainly in the theater. So performing arts may include dance, music, opera, theater, and musical theater, magic, illusion, and many others. So mga to siya. So, performing arts refers to the form of art where an artist used his own face, body, and presence. So, the major there are five major types of performing arts. Include na diri ang music, opera, dance, drama, and spoken word. So, di ba natoy lima ka main types sa performance art. So, magsugod ta sa music. Music Music is a form of whose medium in silence and sounds. The word music was derived from the Greek word mosaic, which means the arts of muses. The common elements of music include rhyme, pitch, dynamics, timbre, and textures. The performance creation significance, the definition of this art depend on social context and culture. Music can range from organized composition up to improvisational music to aleatoric forms. So naman to no, kabalo ng taon sa gina music. So, ang ikaduha is the opera. Opera is a form of performing arts wherein musicians and singers perform a dramatic work that combines text, which is called the libretto and musical score. This form of arts is a popular art of the Western classical music tradition. And the other one, ang ikatulo is the dance. Dance is a form of performing arts that refers to the arts of moving and nobody rhythmically the and usually in accordance to music. It uses a form of social interaction and expression, or it's commonly presented in the performance or spiritual setting. Proceed ta sa ikaapat. Ang ikaapat is the drama. Drama refers to a mode of fiction represented in a performance. The word drama originated from the Greek words draw, which means actions. Dramas are usually enacted by action on a stage for an audience. So muna to ang drama, wala naman tana. And the last is the spoken word. Spoken word is often used as an entertainment of musical terms referring to works that are intended to be performed by a single person who will speak by himself naturally. Musically, this is different from rapping where the latter involves rhyme, while spoken words do not follow such. Spoken words is said to be more akin to speaking or narration. So that's all. Thank you.
Good day, Mom. I'm Drilling Sina Makatkat, and today I will be discussing to you what really the term transcreation means. We're going to talk about its purpose, and most especially, I'm going to provide some examples. For its transcreation is successfully applied, so I think it's better if we're going to start on defining the term transcreation. It is the concept used in the field of translation studies to be described as process of adapting a message from one language to another, while maintaining its intent, style, tone, and context. So the question is, how can we say that a message is successfully transcreated if it evokes the same emotions and carries the same implication in the target language as it does in the source language? So, transcreation is also involved adapting not only words but also it involves videos and images. So, to the target audience, best example of this is Red Bull Energy or it when it is transcreated in the Chinese market. As we all know, Chinese market really love consider the colored red and gold colors as their lucky and prestigious colors. So that's why the packaging of the red certain Bull energy drink product turned into the Red Bull and a black writing gold can be because they know how to make an emotional relationship from the product down the audience or customers. So the transcreation is understood as a way of creating a cross. So the ordinary to become the best version of ourselves. We transcreate our experience in order to find meaning of our existence. So, in the art world, transcreations is a fulfilling job. Transcreator, uh, Transcreator are the brains behind the best commercial or program you see on TV. And then the ability of consent knowledge and cultural boundaries is paramount to achieve an effective global marketing. Um, Agility and of course, and it's really necessary that if you are that person want for you to patronize the certain products. So, of course, you have to consider the opportunities of the tagline, the slogan, the commercial, and the advertisement, the certain product, because that when you will be build the trust under the product or service, just like on McDonald's, the famous McDonald's. It has its own slogan, which means I'm loving it. So, McDonald's in China, it is also appropriate to use the word love in their country. Technically, they have decided to transcreate it and turn out as I like it. So, basically, that's how transcreation works. When did transcreation started? So, it was first developed in the field of literary translation and began to be adopted so for the use in the global marketing and advertising in the early 21st century. So a transcreation professional is more than a simple linguist naturally. They need to be excellent at that too and have creative writing or copywriting abilities. We too that somehow synonyms are similar to the term transgression, but if we are going to look at deeper meaning, they are quite different. They are related, but they are two different things because transcreation is much more than translation. Because transcreation from the word translation and creation, it's the act of changing effect and meaning called the really appreciate florally target market in order to appeal to an audience which a very different culture because we all know that the culture, norms, and beliefs is a certain person based in our environment or the country. And it is really important when it comes marketing. We will know how to adjust on culture, the humors, the context, or the dialect of the particular country or places because that one way of crafting for them to patronize our product or business. So, I'm discussing the lesson 1, the artist and the artisan introduction. Before the individual revolution, virtually everything was made by the artisan from smith. It's goldsmith, blacksmith, locksmith, gunsmith to weavers and dryers, carpenters, potters, and other places, this distinction is often very blurred since many farmers paint many sculptures for or have other jobs. Most walls are covered, most houses have decorative motifs. Art is everywhere, so to them, the act of creation of beautiful things is second nature. So all the ladies of the village will make the amazing decoration for temples and the elaborate offering, thinking nothing of spending 3 days making things which will be only used for a few.
Good morning, everyone. I am Giuseppe Villaveto, and this is my report, The Elements of Art. The elements of art are the basic components of art marketing. It is impossible to create a work of art without using at least one of the 7 elements. So an artist can't make a work of art without using an element of art. Even one element is needed in the making. Elements of art are the building blocks of art. Every piece of art ever created includes one or more of these elements. Let's learn about line, color, shape, form, value of art. Number 1 is line. A line is an element of art. It is a mark upon a surface. In order to be a line, the mark's length must be longer than its width. Example of line created by a pen, pencil, brush, or any tool, such as spiral, wavy, vertical, dash, horizontal, curly, dotted, diagonal, and curved lines. Number 2 is shapes. These are areas of enclosed space that are two-dimensional. Shapes are flat and can only have height and width. The two different categories of shapes are geometric and organic. Examples of geometric shapes, such as squares, triangles, and circles, have uniform measurements and don't often appear in nature, whereas organic shapes are associated with things from the natural world, like plants and animals. Number 3 is space. It deals with the illusion of depth on a flat surface. You might overlap shapes to make some look closer or make objects in the distance smaller to look like they are farther away. The element of space can be used in three-dimensional as well. So space has positive space and negative space. Positive space refers to the area that contains the main subject or object of the artwork. Negative space or background around it becomes negative space by default. Number 4 is value. This refers to the lightness and darkness of areas in an art. White is the lightness value, while black is the darkest. The halfway between the extremes is called the middle gray. So these are the examples of value. Number 5 is color. Color is the most prominent element of design and is one of the most powerful and yet subjective elements of art. Color is an element of 3 properties such as hue, value, and intensity. Hue refers to the origin of the color we can see. Example of hues are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. Next is value. Value is the measurement of amount of black or white a pure hue has mixed. This is an example of hue. Next is intensity. Refers to the brightness and dullness of a color. This is the example. Through the mixing of colors, infinite other hues are born, but there are only 4 true colors
from which more and more other kinds of colors may be thus created. Red is the color of fire, blue for the air, green for the water, and gray of the earth. White and black are not true colors but are alterations. Number 6 is texture, an element of art that refers to the way things feel or look as if they might feel if touched. Texture is an important element of design because it engages the sense of touch as well as the vision. Two main approaches of texture are actual texture and implied texture. So actual texture or physical texture can be felt by touching the surface or the object or material such as canvas, wood grain, sand, leather, eggshell, or smooth surfaces like metal and glass. While implied texture, also known as visual texture, is only perceived by the viewer. Examples of these are paintings and drawings. Last but not the least is form, an element of art that three-dimensional and encloses volume, includes height, weight, and depth. Form may be free-flowing, as such as circle becomes a sphere, squares become a cubes, and triangle becomes a cone or a pyramid. As artists, we must have a strong understanding of form.
Hi, mabuhay! It's me, Clarice, and today we're going to tackle about the principles of design. Principles of design is sinusunod ito ng mga artist para makagawa ng mas epektibong art. Para mas madaling maintindihan ng viewers kung anong gusto ipahatid ng isang artist. So, here we have 8 principles of art. Balance, emphasis, pattern, repetition, proportion, rhythm, variety, and unity. Balance. Ginagamit ito upang maging balanse yung kulay, texture, kung gaano ito ka-smooth and draft. And ginagamit din ito upang hindi mag-overpower yung ibang elements sa iyong art. Symmetrical. So, gaya ng nakikita nyo sa picture, pantay siya. Then, yung symmetrical naman is hindi siya pantay pero balance siya tignan. Yung radial naman can help brings viewers' eyes to subject, place, and the center. And ang karaniwang shape nito is yung circle. So, next we have the emphasis. Is the part of the design that catches the viewer's attention. So, here we have some example picture na ibang kulay yung isang tomato. So, mas nafocus yung mata natin sa ibang kulay. Diba? Mas nafocus tayo sa green kaysa sa yung daming red. Yun nga naman, yung totoo. Mas nakikita natin yung mali kasi sa mga buting ginagawa ng tao. Diba? Ganun naman yun. So, pattern. Pattern is ito yung inuulit-ulit natin sa ating artwork. Gaya ng petals. Diba may pattern yun pag ganito. Then, repetition works with pattern naman siya. Kasi nga repeat, diba? Pag ni-repeat natin means may pattern siya. And repetition is nag-create siya ng unity sa ating artwork. Proportion. It is the feeling of unity created when all parts, size, amounts, or number related well each other. So, dahil sa proportion, makaka-create ka ng realistic design or kagaya ng example, hindi siya pantay or mas malaki yung ibang parte ng katawan, pero balance naman siyang tignan. Unrealistic, pero sobrang ganda niya tignan. Makaka-create ka ng unique design. Rhythm. It is created when one or more elements of design are used repeatedly to create a feeling of organized movement. Gaya ng dalawang example natin sa taas, para siyang nag-create ng movement dahil gumagamit siya ng repeatedly na elements. Variety. It is the use of several elements of design to hold the viewer's attention and to guide the viewer's eye through and around the work of art. Makaka-create ka ng variety pag gumagamit ka ng iba't ibang elements na magkakasunod. Kagaya na lang ng nasa example sa taas, lines next to curvy lines, di ba ang interesting na tingnan. Unity is the feeling of harmony between all parts of the work of art which creates a sense of completeness. Ito yung kabuuan or completeness ng iyong ginawa. It gives the artwork a sense of cohesion or completeness. Example, parang yung PPT natin. Light yung background and dark yung letters. It complement each other. Parang tayo.
Hi everyone, I am Maisel P. Dominguez. And now, Lesson 3, Reading Image and Role of the Third Introduction. We begin with a basic premise. There are two interrelated aspects in the study of art. The first one is art has its specificity. That is, its particular language or vocabulary that has to do with the mediums, techniques, and visual elements of art that constitute it as a distinct area of human knowledge and signifying practice. And the second is, the other aspect is that while it has its specificity, is at the same time historically situated and shaped by social, economic, and political forces. Both these aspects need to be taken into account so as to be able to fully understand and appreciate art. So kaning duha ka aspect di din nato siya i-apply or i-take into account so para mas masabtan pa nato og ma-appreciate ang art. Meaning in art. Art is a complex of intellectual, emotional, and sensory significations which the work conveys and to which the viewer responds, bringing in the breadth of his or her cultural background, artistic exposure and training, and human experience in the dialogic relationship with the artwork. So, ang art kuno is, when we say complex, komplikado siya sa intellectual, emotional, and sensory signification. And that's all my report.
Hey everyone, my name is Jimarnin Nali. Today I'm going to discuss our topic, reading of image. This topic has 4 planes.
First, the basic semiotic plane. Second, iconic plane or image itself. And third, conceptual plane. And fourth, axiological or evaluative plane. Two interrelated aspects of the study of art. Number one, art has its specificity, that is, its particular language of vocabulary that has all to do with the medium, techniques, and visual element of art that constitute it as the distinct area of human knowledge and significant practice. Number two, it has its specificity is at the same time historically situated and shaped by social, economic, and political forces. Now, let's talk about the plane. First plane, the basic semiotic plane. Semiotic is the study of sign, work of the art in the iconic or pictorial sign. Sign consists of signifier and signifier. Signifier or its material physical aspect, when signified or non-material aspect as concept and value. The basic semiotic plane covers the element and the general, technical, and physical aspect of the work, whether semantic, meaning conveying potential. It includes the visual element and how they are used, line value, color, texture, shape, composition, and space and movement. The choice of medium and technique. In contemporary arts, medium entered more and more into the meaning of the work. The format of the work. In contemporary arts, format is no longer purely conventional but become laden with meaning. Other physical properties and mark of the work. Nations, traces, texture, feature, mark, whether random and intentional are the part of signification of the work, and the iconic plane or the image itself. This has to do with the particular feature, aspect, and the quality of the image, which are the signifiers. The iconic plane includes the choice of the subject, which may bear social and political implications. Narrative style implies a particular representation or interpretation of the world, a world review. Classical figuration basically follows of proportions of 7 and 1/2 to 8 heads to the entire figure in its pursuit of ideal form. All imperfection counsel. Realist figuration is based on key observation of people, nature, and society in the concerned truth or truth of representation. Impressionist figuration is wild and informal, often catching and subject awareness like a candle camera. Expressionist figuration follow emotional impulses and drives. These often involve distortions that come from strong emotion. The conceptual plane proceeds from the basic semiotic and iconic planes and the knowledge and inside one of gain from this into the social and historical context of the work of art. Situating the work in this context will bring out the full meaning of the work in terms of its woman and social implications. A broad knowledge of historical and economic, the political and cultural condition, past and present of society is called upon in the contextual plane. Work of art many contains reference and illusions, direct or indirect, of historical figures and events, as well as religion, literary and political idea and value which are part of the meaning of the work. The last plane, axiological or evaluative plane. The evaluation of the work necessarily include an analysis and examination of its axiological content, constituted by value which become fully articulate on the conceptual plane, although their ideas had already been shaped on the basic semiotic and iconic plane. The artist is not or should be not a mere technician but expresses a view of life in his or her work. The review technique is also not a mere technique expert confined to the analysis of elements, technique, and processes alone, as also the artist should place a value on the capacity of arts to influence and transform society. The mutual viewer and technica is one who must have, after long expression and experience, arrive at the information of this own value system. His or her view of the world and humanity, which he or she has become to feel deeply and strongly about. Let's try to analyze the painting use the planes of analysis. That is called tampuhan, meaning sulking. Is an 1895 classic oil on canvas impressionist painting by Filipino painter and revolutionary active Juan Luna.
Good morning, everyone, especially to our uh, instructor, Ma'am Michelle Cano. Ma'am, good morning. Uh, Before we start, let me introduce myself first. I am Rosmila Zaragasuray. I am the last reporter of Group 1. We tackled about the role of third. The role of third is a role of thumb. or guideline which applies the process of composing visual image such as designs, films, paintings, and photographs. What is rule of thumb? A rule of thumb is a rule of principle that you follow which is not based on exact calculating but rather on experience. The rule of thumb used to describe a useful principle that has wide application but that's not necessarily reliable in a situations. These pictures the examples of rule thumb. The interaction of two lines, sometimes called a PowerPoint or cross-point. PowerPoint is powerful slideshow presentations program. Cross-point. This is the point or point A to which the project can be crossed using the cheapest cross cost per unit or time for a critical path component. The rule of third is the theory dictating how an image should be composed in order to create an aesthetically pleasing result. In all honesty, it's more a guideline than an actual rule. The principle involves splitting an image into 9 equal parts. First, you draw two lines vertically, two for three evenly spaced sections. Draw two or more lines horizontally. You have 9 equal sides squares. For more visually arresting photo, your subject or subject you should land where any two lines across. Here are the four great examples of the role of third. First is leave. Leave. In this stunning nature shot, the artist emphasized the various hosts and organic shape or flora by placing the tip or the stick at the top left cross section of the imaginary guide, created by the role of thirds. The second picture is the cup of tea. The yellow lemon slice floats delicately in the center of the teacup, drawing the eyes not only because of its color, but also because it sits a bottom right cross section of the guide. The third image is the watch, fountain pen, and notebook. Watch, fountain pen, and notebook. Eventually, simple compositions are improved by the almighty role. Though this image is a collection of three related items, they create a picture with depth thanks to how the eye moves around the object. The fourth picture is bike ride or close-up. A bike ride or close-up beside the wonderful use of color here. The bike rider is blurred around the main area of focus. Hair gear, shifter, and the right edge of her hand. And that's all. Thank you.